Hi, my name is Eric Latender. I'm author of the book, The Amazing Dog Training Man. And I want to ask you a question. Are you frustrated with your dog? Because if you are frustrated, I want you to understand you are not alone. You're not alone. A lot of people are frustrated with their dogs. I've had dogs that I was frustrated with, especially when I think back to some of my first dogs. I wasn't a very good dog trainer. But I quickly want to share a joke with you. I used to always ask, when I was doing group obedience classes, I would always ask the class, I would always say, hey, you know what? How do you pick out a lab owner from a group of dog owners? The answer was, you can always tell a lab owner from any other dog owner because the lab owner will be in a sling, walking with a cane, probably have a black eye. And the point is that labs tend to be very active dogs. I love labs. I'm not picking on labs here. I'm just saying labs tend to be very active and they pull their owners, and a lot of lab owners get injured. Just what I've seen. That's what I've observed. But the reason I'm talking about this is because when you have your dog, there's a good chance you're going to get frustrated by some of the behaviors that your dog does. And when you get frustrated, it's very easy to get angry at your dog. And the last thing we want to do is punish our dog through anger. I'm not saying that you never use punishment. There's a big crowd out there that if you talk negative or you talk punishment, they go crazy. Crazy. And they think you're a bad, evil person. I'm not saying that you never use punishment. There are times where you apply a negative consequence, but you want to make sure you're not doing it through anger, and you want to make sure you're not harming your dog. So what I did is I came up with an acronym for everybody to follow when they're having a problem with their dog. And basically the acronym is what I call the MUT method. If you follow the MUT method, it'll help you deal with any behavior problem. So the M stands for manage your dog's behavior. The U is figure out what the underlying problem is. The T is train a new behavior, train or teach a new behavior, and then the last T is for time. So if your dog has a behavior problem, the first thing you want to do is manage your dog's behavior. If your dog runs away, keep him on leash. If your dog pees in the house, use a crate. If your dog does anything that you don't like, manage the behavior. Now, managing is not going to fix the problem. Manage will contain the problem. So now your dog is in the crate, doesn't mean he's house trained. So the next thing is that you have to figure out what's the underlying problem. Whenever you have a behavior problem, there's an underlying problem. So if a dog is digging in the yard, is the dog frustrated because there's a dog next door? Is the dog bored? Is the dog hot? So if the dog's hot, you got to put in a little pool for the dog. If the dog's frustrated, remove your dog from that spot. But you got to figure out what the underlying problem is. And once you figure out what the underlying problem is, you can move on to the next one, which is T. You can train or teach a new behavior. So if the dog jumps, what's the underlying reason? To greet. So what you do is you teach a new way to greet. You teach them how to greet with all four paws on the ground. And the last T is for time. You got to give it some time for the new behavior to kick in. Usually 21 to 30 days. And that's the MUT method. So don't get frustrated with your dog. Just use the MUT method to deal with any behavior problem you are having with your dog. Don't forget, you can get my ebook, 101 Ways to Improve Your Dog's Behavior, at my website, AmazingDogTrainingMan.com. Thanks for watching.